What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are here at the shop in Nagoya, Japan. It's a little bit rainy outside, so don't really have too much going on. Been responding to some messages, talking to some of you guys online, and editing a couple videos. Since it is a little bit rainy today and there's not too much to do outside, I wanted to talk about something. With cars becoming legal for the USA, we always see that price jump. R32s, they became legal to ship back to the USA. We saw a big price jump in those, and they're still going up. Right now, for the most part, R32s cost more than R33s in Japan, but I don't think it's gonna last long. The R33s will be legal, the GTR models will be legal starting next year, and I think we're gonna see that price jump in those too. We already have a little bit. It hasn't been so bad yet, but I think once they get to the US and people start seeing them and they really start growing on people, I think we're gonna see that price jump. But that's not the price jump I'm talking about today. This one, I'm trying to think outside of the box. We all know that R32s price jumped, R33s are going to, and R34s are already, and they're gonna be like the pinnacle. But I mean, that's the Skyline line, the Skyline line. The GTRs, of course they're gonna price jump, they all are. It's a fanboy car, I don't wanna say it that way, but you know it is. There's a lot of people who don't really understand them, but saw Fast and Furious, so they want a Skyline. But today what I'm talking about is the Nissan Silvia S15 Spec R. I think that's gonna be another one of the big price jump cars in the future. Now they started production in 1999, so they won't actually be legal for the USA until 2024. So this is kind of a heads up to some of you maybe, I guess, that aren't in the USA, like maybe some of you guys in Australia or I think Canada, New Zealand, the UK, places like that that can actually still import the S15 Spec R. Or if you're in the USA and that is a car that you see owning in the future, it might be wise to purchase that car sooner rather than later. I don't think at this very second there is a giant rush to get them to where they're gonna price jump in the next couple months, but I think in the next year or so, we're gonna really start to see those price jump. Right now, a nice S15 Spec R is going for somewhere in the mid-teens to mid-20s, depending on kilometers and condition, and that's in US dollars. Somewhere roughly between 15 to 25,000 US dollars for a good condition, low kilometer S15 Spec R. Now the Spec R is a lot more sought after than the other models like the Spec S. You can find Spec S's all day long for under 10 grand in Japan still, but the S15 isn't as sought after. It's not as nice. The Spec R has the SR20 DET with the 6-speed manual transmission. It's got better suspension, larger, I think, sway bars and anti-roll bars. It's just a more track-ready car, I guess you could say. It's more fun. They're way more fun to drive than the Spec S, and it's definitely noticeable. So if you are a customer in the USA, we do offer storage at our shop, and we have a couple other yards that we do store cars in. I don't want to go into too much detail on that. I think I'm going to do a whole nother video talking about the specifics of storage, but I just want to let you guys know that we do offer storage here if there's a car that you want that's not yet legal for whatever country you live in. It can be stored here and we can ship it out once it does become legal. In just a few minutes, if the rain does die down, we're gonna go out front over to Garage Defend and we will check out a Spec R, maybe get the keys for it and start it up and let you guys hear it run a little bit. I wanna know what you think though. Are any of you guys big S15 fans? Do you like the Spec R? Is it something you've had your eyes on for a while? I don't know, I don't wanna say it's a forgot after or a forgot about car, but if you don't live in Japan, you're not really thinking about it. You don't see it very often because the USA never got it. You see the S13s, the S14s, but until I lived in Japan, I mean, I knew about S15s, but I didn't appreciate them like I do now. And especially knowing about the Spec R model and actually getting to drive one, I really, really appreciate the S15 Spec R. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the Spec R and if it's something you are interested in. And what other kind of price jumps are we gonna see in the next few years? Now, let's talk about one more price jump, I guess. Let's just talk for a few minutes here. Hondas. Right now is gonna be an interesting time for JDM Hondas because the Integras, the DC2s are just now becoming legal. The Type Rs will be legal next year in 1995, starting next year. But production numbers for 1995, I believe, were pretty low. Off the top of my head, I want to say maybe 2,000 or 3,000 in 1995. I could be wrong, but I know the production numbers in 95 were low. 96 is when it really started to pick up. But I think that's going to be another price jump. I think Brett, that got his Type R that we did a video on a couple days ago, I think he bought it at a good time, and he's going to make some money off that car if he ever decided to sell it. I think it was a really good investment. There's some other Hondas that will be becoming legal here shortly that I think is also gonna kind of price jump, and I think it's gonna be another good investment opportunity. But it also makes me wonder, for Hondas, are there people out there that are gonna spend the money for them once that price does jump? Like right now, yes, you can get them for a good price, but in a couple years when the Type Rs are legal, and we probably see the price jump on that up to, I don't know, if you can get them for 10 to 15 now, probably, you know, up around the $20,000 mark once they become actually USA import legal. So I don't know. Like, Hondas are cheaper, and it's usually an entry level car for people. I started with Hondas. That was my passion for the longest time. I still love Hondas. I know some of you guys know there is a Honda tattoo on this leg down here under my pants. I'm not going to show it, but there is a Honda tattoo there. So I love Hondas, and that's what I started with, but it was mainly because I could afford it. I could afford to buy one, I could afford to modify one, and I just wonder if we'll see that type of price jump for the Hondas, since usually Hondas are more of an entry level car, other than collectors of Hondas and stuff like that. I know there are some of you guys out there that love Hondas and that have the money to buy the rare Hondas. But generally speaking, I think Hondas are more of an entry-level car. I feel like I just said price jump a lot in the last couple minutes. If you want a drinking game, go ahead and restart this video and take a shot every time I said price jump, because I feel like it was a lot, price jump. Now, if we can just wait on this rain to die down so that I don't ruin my camera and my microphone, we will head outside and take a look at a Spec R. I don't think this rain's gonna completely hold off today, but here we are, we're out front now. Let's take a look at some of these S15 Spec Rs that are out here. And actually, all three of these up front, the two yellow and the silver one here, are all sold out already. So, kind of like I'm saying, you might want to scoop the S15 Spec Rs while you can, while it's still a decent price. Beautiful yellow one, like I said, has sold out. And the other yellow one over here has also sold out. I believe both of the yellow ones went to local customers here around the Nagoya area. But this Spec R right here is actually going to Alex in Okinawa, which is pretty awesome. I love seeing Garage Defend cars heading to Okinawa. Having been stationed in Okinawa and now working here and living here in Nagoya at Garage Defend, it really is cool to see some of these cars heading to Okinawa and getting to live out their lives in Okinawa, pleasing fellow military personnel, because there's a lot of dealers out there, and I'm sure some of you guys in Okinawa know who I'm talking about, that are out to screw the military personnel in Okinawa with crappy cars that are rust-filled. But I can promise you none of these cars are. The S15 Spec Rs just look really nice. The BBS wheels on this one look excellent. Look at the SR20 under the hood. It's so loud right here with this road, but I'm going to start the car up here in a minute. I'll let you guys hear it. Let's take a look at the interior. The interior on them is really nice as well. This one has the Momo steering wheel. The dash looks to be in really good condition. The seats are in really good condition. Really nice floor mat still in it as well. Really excellent condition Spec R. That might be actually another point to make as well. Before, I mean, they're 4 more years older, 5 more years older whenever they become USA import legal. I mean, what, average 15,000 miles a year, maybe not in Japan, but a lot of these Spec Rs are going to have a lot of miles by the time they become USA import legal. So once again, that's another reason to maybe scoop one up now while it's still a decent price and they're still low kilometers. Sitting inside of the S15, it feels about the same size as the R32. The Supra feels a little bit bigger than both of them. It does feel really good. I am 6 foot, about 2 inches tall, and I don't feel like I'm crammed in here at all. It does feel very comfortable. Honestly, picking up a Spec R is a great idea, and I really would like to do that right now. This one has 101,964 kilometers, so that's pretty low too. When you think about it, that's only maybe around 60,000 miles. So this thing's even really just barely broken in. Currently there are 2 more S15s that we do have available. One soon to be, well really 2 soon to be available. One of them is right here. It's having some parts installed on it before it is actually available for sale. And the other one is on the way. Both of these are kind of more aftermarket S15s that we're gonna be offering up for sale soon. This one a little bit less, but the next one's like a fully modified, fully tuned out S15 Spec R, so it should be pretty cool, and I'll do a video on that whenever it arrives. Let's take a quick look inside of this one. This one should be available for sale pretty soon. All right, the rain's starting to come down harder, so we're gonna go back inside. Like I said, you guys let me know what you think. You think S15 Spec Rs are gonna be a big jump here soon? I think we're gonna see a price hike in them pretty soon. What do you think about the R33 GTRs? You think those are gonna be jumping up soon? Because I know they are. The R32s did. There's even less R33s, less than half of what was produced for R32s there are for R33 GTRs. So I think we're gonna see a big price jump in those as well. And of course, 180SX, I mean, they're kind of, I don't know, this one's a 96, but there already are 180s that can go back. So I think we've kind of already seen the main price jump on those. And then of course we'll get to the R34 price jump eventually. These are both GTTs, so they're a little bit more in the affordable price range, around 20,000 US dollars, compared to the GTR counterparts that are upwards of 50, 60, 70, 80,000 dollars. Alex, congrats on a beautiful S15. I look forward to seeing these keys in your hand and you driving this on the streets of Okinawa. I hope you all enjoyed the video today. Sorry it wasn't a little bit more, but with the rain, there's really not much I can do. I wanted to pull out some of the Supras and wash them, and some of the other cars and wash them, and start doing some individual videos on each car, but no point in pulling them out and washing them when it's pouring down rain, and I think it's supposed to for the rest of the night, maybe tomorrow. Maybe it's supposed to be a little bit better tomorrow afternoon. If so, I'll be pulling out some cars and doing some videos. We'll see. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. And let me know in the comments, like I said, what you think about the S15 Spec Rs and where they're gonna go in the future. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, thanks for watching.